presentation was phenomenal. So I just want to give a shout out to all those businesses that were there on Blue Hill Ave today and say, we applaud you because you're in the community and you're showing people that there's richness here locally.
Yep.
We don't have to go far out.
No.
We have it here.
It's right there in the berry. Yeah.
The Good Fruit Project that they grow food locally.
Yeah.
Listen, I was amazed to see how much fresh vegetables and fruits grown locally in this area.
And we were talking about that before, and we also we continue to have the conversation about local foods and encouraging local farms. So this is great to see them, seeing them doing it, and we're definitely gonna, they definitely have some things coming up, and they're gonna be on the show, and we're gonna talk about what they're gonna have coming up, especially between January and March. I think that they're gonna do their first big drive, and they're planning on opening up a store.
Yeah.
So.
But I was telling Anthony Cook how my daughter and I went apple picking, fresh apples, and how, all of our fruit is waxed, and that's why you have to wash it off. But it's so funny, when we picked it right from the tree, all I did was rub it on my leg, and that apple shined so bright. It was amazing about how delicious it looked. And then when my daughter bit it, the juice came out like she was drinking from a juice box. It was like slipping down her. It was just so fresh, so juicy, and she loved it.
And it's not like remember that video we saw?
What video?
What was it that you were trying to feed? Brussels sprouts? It wasn't like Brussels sprouts.
Yeah. No. But I was gonna say what stood out to me the most today was there was these 4 teenagers. They were actually from a high school, and they started a recycling initiative. They wanted their school to recycle more. So they didn't even have a business, but it's business minded. Meaning like they weren't even making money or anything like that, but they had the organization skills and the political power, I guess, to actually make a difference in their own school. Beautiful, seeing high school kids. Actually, I think they were middle school, high school. Anyways, they were young girls.
But they came together and they had one voice.
Exactly.
And having one voice and coming together is a very, very powerful thing. And that's why I say, once again, I thank you, sir, for coming on board. Because your voice, today your story has taught me, Anthony Cook, Blue, Bree, and our listeners about being aware of our bodies and understanding that, even if there's a possibility one of us gets it, life still goes on. Because we're looking at you right now, and I would be blessed to be in my 50s and look like you. I'm honored that you're here, and I really thank you very much for that.
All right, so we have the last 10 minutes of the show, and we just give all the panel members an opportunity to talk about, what impacted you this show. What did you learn about? Just what touched you today? Do you want to start with Blue?
I liked how our guests shared so many intimate details of him having cancer that a lot of people would be ashamed or afraid to share. And I think if more people had that attitude when it comes to their illness or their life condition or anything they're going through, then the world would solve its own problems.
Speak truth. That's Mr. Spoken Word right there.
Right.
All right, Wayne Wilson, thank you again for being on the show. Anything that stuck out to you as far as like our conversation, dialogue today?
Nothing in particular. I thought the political section was challenging.
Challenging your views on politics, putting you on the spot.
Exactly.
Hey, you can't expect anything less. You're a Republican in a Democratic city. But thank you for being so upfront and honest and willing to talk about it.
I would like to correct that. I'm more a conservative. I just
Okay,
happen to
thank
vote
you.
Republican most of the time.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. So will you be voting in November with 2 Democrats?
Well, I can't vote in Boston. I live in Dedham.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm so sorry. I forgot about that. All right. Anthony Cook, what about you? What stands out for our show today?
What stands out for me today is, of course, Mr. Wilson's story, but also, I just want to remind our listeners that the hospital is a service industry. They're here to serve us. So when we feel like there's something wrong or there's something needs to be checked and they feel like it's not necessary, we need to insist upon it, because we pay too much money for insurance to just settle for not getting something done because it's just easier. We need to insist on, we need to be advocates for our own health. So go to the hospital and get it checked out, and don't be afraid of the biopsy.
You heard it. You said it best. Anthony Cook right there. All right, public announcement. Any final words?
Yeah, like I just said, Mr. Wilson, I thank you very much for your courage and your insight on something that's happening in our community, in all communities, and one thing that we shouldn't be scared of the doctors. But on a lighter note, and I'm just impressed with how Boston was for me this weekend. I feel like Boston had very, very influential things, and it's things that are setting home. And I'm very proud to be a Bostonian today, because it's been many years that I can say I am excited to see Boston and where it's at right now. So, kudos to Boston, Miss Ali, Latifah Ali, who was on our show last week, and she just dropped so much powerful science, and just to see it in its full act and fruition today, I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Mind blowing.
I also have to give shout outs to Nina La Negra for putting me on to the jazz festival yesterday. The Berkeley Jazz Festival.
You didn't even talk about the jazz festival.
Oh, it was great. It was just beautiful to watch. Great music, lots of vendors, everyone having a great time, shutting down 5 blocks of a major artery in the city. So it was great. So good time, good weekend in Boston, and also Boston Fashion Week is this week from September 27th to October 5th. So there's plenty of things going on that involve the fashion industry that's open to the public. So get a rare peek at what's going on in the fashion industry in the international and national.
And listen, we are not scared to give free promos, because that was definitely a free promo.
Hey, it's about hey, you know what? If it's free and it's for the people, go see it.
Absolutely, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
And this is your girl, Bree. Honestly, I'm always moved by motivating others through real experiences. And this week it was Mr. Wayne Wilson. And so, I just appreciate him educating myself, and all of our listeners on his intimate story. But, we had a great show today. Going out, we just want to say, if you have any events going on in Boston that you want to promote, feel free to Facebook us or tweet us at Minority Men Show. That's on Facebook and Twitter. You can also email us at minoritymenshow@gmail.com. You can call us off hours at 617-903-SHOW. And during the show, of course, you can always call us at 857-366-5444. Again, we're the voice of the voiceless. We really, really appreciate our callers today. You really, really challenged our special guest. And, I guess that's about it. Until next time. This is the Minority Men Show. The next clip you will be hearing is from our outing. The Minority Men panel was at Open Streets, Open World today. That happened on Blue Hill Ave. So you will be hearing from some of the residents who we encountered there. Public, you had something to say?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to the callers and thanks to the individuals that hit us up on Facebook, because
yes.
It's important for you to give your feedback and give your opinions on our show. Because here we are, like we said before, we are a vessel. We are the voice of the voiceless, and you are the voice. So continue to support, continue to call in, continue to listen, continue to follow, continue to tweet, and just continue to support your community. Thanks again. We'll see you next week, right?
Peace.
Welcome back to the Minority Men Show. Once again, we're on Blue Hill Ave right now. We're with
Stephen Evans
and
Tim Hall.
These gentlemen are the owner of
Zero Co-op.
Zero Co-op. Now, they've been here on Blue Hill Ave for a majority of their life, or all their life.
Just about, yeah.
Just about. Now, how do you see the difference in today from back when you were a child?
Well, I've said when I was at a campaign, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And that's deep for me because it's been 40 years when this used to be a very business community, when the Jewish and Irish community, there was business up and down Blue Hill Avenue. Today it's just a blighted community, and we're zero, and we're working with other businesses to bring some life back to this community that once was a vibrant community and looked like the other communities like Brookline and Newton, and we want Dorchester to come back like that. But that's the sad part, is that the more, we're in the 21st century, and it's still the same as it was 40 years ago.
Okay. All right. So now, what inspired you to start this company?
I got tired of looking for work from other people, and being forced by them, and the little vague threats, if I don't want to work here, I can leave, you get tired of that. So it still turned out to be a very good vehicle for myself, for my own self-employment, and to help the people in the community to be employed. And that's what we're interested in.
And to piggyback on that, Steve brought Steve into Zero, because we're an incubation out of the Boston Workers Alliance, which is our pre in Grove Hall, which works with the Corey campaign. Because of the mass incarceration, you have a large marginalized population that's in and out of jail, the recidivist rate, and the word out is that all the minds saying that we need jobs. Right. And so Zero started out called Roxbury Green Power. We were spin off. Zero's a spin off from that day that wanted to create jobs and employment for our people in the community, and that's how this got started with the eco warrior named Van Jones, who said about let's not be left out of the green economy, this clean economy. We were left out of construction jobs, as you see. So that's why we came in, because they said there was an opportunity that we can create jobs and businesses and work for ourselves. Is why we took it upon ourselves to go out there as young men and women and start trying to take advantage of the opportunity that's going on in the green economy, and that's how Zero got started.
Wow. Well, we look forward to these gentlemen being on the show very soon to talk more about their product and just passing the word. I just want to thank these gentlemen once again. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. All right. So welcome to the Minority Men. We're here on Blue Hill Ave once again for the big festival that's happening right now. I'm with Mr. What's your name, sir?
Valentine.
Mr. Valentine. Mr. Valentine is going to talk to us about the difference from 1958 to present when it comes to Blue Hill Ave. So can you just give us a breakdown of how different it is today in comparison to back then?
Well, they had a theater here. They had any store you wanted to go to. They even had a 5 and 10. They had all kind of delis here, and anything you wanted was here.
So everything was accessible?
Yes, indeed it was. Even the schools, they had some nice schools up for Columbia Road there.
Wow. Now, do you feel like it's gone downhill, or do you feel like it's still progressing in a way?
No, it's gone downhill, and hopefully we're going to see a comeback. I have, noticed some good things coming along, like this festival for one, and I think that's nice. And there are a couple more stores around, and you got the Stop and Shop up there now in Grove Hall. So I see some changes for the better coming along.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right.